iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here, race fans, to the Nashville Superspeedway, located just outside of Nashville, Tennessee. Here tonight to play host to another race for Red Light Racing. It's the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series here for Red Light Racing, and we are playoff racing. 8 drivers did make the cut into the next round of the playoffs. Those 8 drivers tonight coming in with a chance are Chris Hammett, Eric Johnson, James Skelton, Jeffrey Souza, Max Terriel, Michael Trevarthen, Ethan Troutman, and your season opener winner of Jason Wells. Those 8 drivers still have a chance as they come here to Nashville to battle here at this concrete 1-mile track that they call the Nashville Superspeedway. None of these racers have ever competed here at the Nashville Superspeedway, so we will give it a shot here tonight for some of these drivers. It's going to be the first time that they have ever turned a lap at this track. Some of these drivers, they've been out there practicing. Some of these drivers got in here a little bit late to the virtual Nashville Superspeedway and have yet to turn in a bunch of lap times or see how they fare here tonight on the long runs. My name is Roger Muth up here in the booth tonight, bringing you all the racing action here for the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series. And, well, race fans, are you in the market to possibly race here virtually at the Nashville Superspeedway? Well, look no further. Our friends over at RB Custom Rigs have you covered. They can build you anything from mild to wild and everything in between, and get you out here with the stars of Red Light Racing. Head on over to RB Custom Rigs today and get your computer on the way to you. Tonight, it is the round of 8, though. Next week, we go to Pocono for a cut race before we head out to the desert at the Phoenix Raceway. First, everything goes through Nashville here. The Music City is coming up here in just a second. It does look like 29 drivers have logged themselves in tonight here, as we will get you down to your starting lineup. There you see drivers already down there tonight. This is your starting lineup brought to us by Simbox. If you're in the market for one of those button boxes, race fans, look no further, because Simbox has what you need. Make it custom, make it wild. Simbox can put your ideas onto a button box for your sim rig here today. Starting on the front row, though, it's the driver out of Florida, driving car number 2. It's the newly badged number 2, Michael Trevarthen for the Rev Esports. He'll wrap the pole tonight. It is outside, the driver of the number 86 of James Skelton. It's the Strano Brothers Racing number 43 and the Road Rage Accessories 43. Joe Strano will go from 3rd. Chris Hammett will roll car number 6 off from 4th. Old birthday boy Richard Murdoch will drive the Adventure in Pixel 01. He will roll off from P number 5. P6 making his return here at Nashville will be the driver of the 88 of Sean Butler. Zach Mitchell will go from the 7th position. 8th tonight will go to the driver out of north of the border. It's the 907 of Tim Williams. Joshua Buckley will roll from the 9th position here tonight. 10th will go to, it looks like, Ethan Troutman. Starting back into the 11th position, hailing out of Tampa, Florida, driving the Rev Esports number 61, this is Dalton Williamson. Starting in the 12th position, it's the season opener winner this season. It's going to be the number 64 of Jason Wells. 13th starting spot tonight, Max Terra. 14th goes to Jeffrey Souza. Sean Single will go 15th on the grid here tonight. 16th will go to Eric Johnson. Tony Strano in 17th with Tim Combs in 18th. Oh, the wily veteran of Rex Hoyle goes 19th, and it looks like Dave Bragg will round out our top 20 positions here tonight. 21st will go to, looks like the man out of Norman, Oklahoma, the number 5 from Brandon Minto. It's the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe, 914 of Brian B. Yankee. He'll roll off from the 22nd position. 23rd will go to Brandon Feeney. 24th, Ryan O'Donnell. Kevin O'Brien, 25th. Travis Minto in 26th. Rob Higgins in the number 40 going 27th. 28th goes to Bruce Potter. And Bob Higgins will round down our 29-car field. That is it, race fans. We're set for 100 laps of racing as the old iRacing.com pace car will jump off the track. Green flag in the flagman's hand. That means we're ready to go racing. This time by put 100 laps on the board here, race fans, as they come into the restart zone. Green flag is flying here tonight at Nashville. Great start for Michael Trevarthen on the inside. The outside lane looks like they may have spun the tires just a little bit. The James Skelton entry falling back as now he's under pressure. Leading down the back straightaway for the first time here tonight. Car number 2, Michael Trevarthen, has jetted out to the front here, and he is trying to set sail. Strano had a good look down to the inside, but he elected to back out of it. So that'll leave James Skelton able to hold that spot in second. It'll be, though, Trevarthen leading the first lap ever here. One driver really close to the outside wall. I believe that's the 907 of Tim Williams, or the 45 if you're following along on the screen there. There you see the McConey setup shot, Rev Esports number 45 of Tim Williams. He was really close, got a little tight push off turn number 4. And got to be careful right now because these tire temperatures are not up to where these drivers would like them to be here in the early stages of this one. These tire pressures are going to take about a lap, maybe 2 laps to come up to full temperature. And then these drivers are really going to let the horsepower sing underneath the hood as you see Williams going to the inside of old Granny Hips, car number 13 here now, rebadged in the Scrambler series. Old Granny Hips on the outside. Old Richard Murdoch is under attack there. That was the number 24 of Zach Mitchell in that Kingsford Ford. Number 24, normally driving a Chevrolet here tonight. He's driving a Ford at Nashville. They got a one-off ride here with the Ford manufacturing backing here at Nashville. As talking about backing, well, he is not backing down. James Skelton now has got to run to the inside of the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. He will look to make the pass here on lap number 4. We've only had 1 leader so far here tonight as we ride on board with our Holy Shirts and Pants onboard camera. Joe Strano, the driver out of Wisconsin, riding it. Oh, contact between the 2 leaders. Contact there, and Michael Trevarthen got the door crushed in on that number 2 machine. As you see him fading, him and James Skelton made a little contact down in entry to turn number 3. Sent the Quick Time Pole Award winner tonight of Trevarthen up the speedway, and now he has some heavy damage on the right front, left front also. As that car jumped up and skidded, that's why the right front has just a little bit of crinkle and a little bit of a crease in it. But that left side is really pancaked, and I don't know with how big this track is here tonight, if that's going to be something we're going to have to really look out for. That is going to bump Trevarthen all the way from running inside the top 2 all the way back to outside the top 10. And while that all transpired, old Mr. Birthday Boy has now taken over the top spot here tonight. Richard Murdoch, the Adventure in Pixel 01, has taken the top spot away from the man that lives down the road of James Skelton. He's trying to run away and hide with it. Here comes Skelton in that Toyota down to the inside once again. He'll get the inside momentum real close again between 2 drivers up at the top spot. The old Birthday Boy, the foundation here this season. As they roar down into turn number 1, it'll be Murdoch going to the high side. He'll give way to the Carolina Elite Real Estate driver, the 86. He did for a moment, and then now he shot back, rocket ship down the back straightaway. Richard Murdoch trying to get it done here tonight at Nashville. Could he be singing a pretty song, a pretty tune at the end of this one? Two teammates a little bit deeper back into the field. Tim Williams and Dalton Williamson still running side by side as we go to complete lap number 7 here tonight as we now work lap number 8. There you see the two McConey setup shop Rev Esports drivers running in the 6th and 7th position. They got the number 42 of Max Terriot right on the back deck lids of those machines as Murdoch still lurks down to the inside here. He'll cross over out of turn number 2. He'll get to the inside of James Skellin here, and he'll rock it down into turn number 3. See if he can hug the bottom down in 3 and 4. Come out of turn 4 with the race lead as they all come back to the start-finish line. And it will be a dead heat given to James Skellin at the line by the splitter of that Toyota. He had the momentum wound up there as he had Zach Mitchell helping him out, giving him a good shove down at the turn number 1. Now where is Zach Mitchell going to go? He's going to go to the outside or the inside. It looks like he is going to choose to go to the outside down the back straightaway here. He'll put car number 24 now right there to the outside of Murdoch. And it looks like he's going to be able to clear Murdoch probably by the time they come out of turn number 4. Maybe Murdoch can get a good run off the bottom side. We haven't seen it work since the tires have started to fade here tonight. Big gaggle of cars about the 20th position back there. Michael Trevarthen has faded back outside the top 20 now. The driver of that number 2 who is in the championship hunt, trying to make it to the next round of the playoffs, which would be the championship 4. And now he is just trying to hang on to get as many points as he can. His crew is surveying the damage to see if they can come down pit road under the green flag conditions. They're trying to come up with a plan right now to get as much damage fixed on that number 2 as they can. As you can see as we zoom in from our camera high atop the tower here tonight, that number 2 really crinkled up on the left front. You see the door is pretty much caved in right behind the tire, and that little fender nick on the right-hand side of that car here tonight is going to be big. As you can see, he has continued to fade, now back into the 21st position. A couple drivers who have not had good starts here. Kevin O'Brien is in the mix in that one. There you see the driver out of Australia. The driver out of Newcastle, Australia back here has dropped 3 positions since the drop of the green flag. Joshua Buckley, another one of those drivers. The old Granny Hips, Walkers, and Kane entry. The Checker Flag Auto Supply riding on board with the Superflow entry. That number 13 truck has fallen back 8 spots since the drop of the green flag. And how about the driver who started up inside the top 10, the top 5 actually, was taking a peek for the lead on lap number 2. Joe Strano has fallen back to running into the he's fallen 7 spots, running back into the 10th position. So Joe Strano back there just hanging on, clinching that 10th position for the time being, as Jason Wells back there in the Alienware number 64 will be the next one on to him. Then it's going to be the Tony Strano entry. He has actually picked up 5 positions since the drop of the green flag here tonight. Still a very long way to go. Still over 85 laps to go here tonight at the Nashville Superspeedway. Back out front, though, it is going to be the 86. James Skellin is your race leader here, so he has now opened up almost a half-second gap back to car number 24. Right on board with that Holy Shirts and Pants onboard looking back camera here, right off the driver. See the window net flapping with how fast James Skellin is going here tonight. He'll go down, and actually he tags a little bit of the grass down there. You don't want to go too far down. Yes, you want to try and cut the track as short as you can, but you don't want to get down there into the grass. You put the right side tires in the grass. One, it's going to probably suck the truck right around. You're going to back it into the outside wall and maybe take a couple of your competitors right along with you. That's not what you want to do if you're James Skellin, because, well, racing for a championship, you don't want to have anything happen to you more than what has already happened to the 86 truck in Skellin. And we talked about the damage that's on the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen, but when you look at the 86, it looks calm, cool, and collective, and no damage on either quarter panel of that Toyota. So a good run so far for Skellin, as he's been able to keep the truck, I would say, clean, but iRacing is saying it's clean. We won't know until after the race. Here's the driver out of Ohio, though, the Gen X Hooters machine, the Trust Me Vodka entry of Sean Butler. Sean Butler had back surgery in the middle stages of the season last year, and has not been able to compete full-time here with the Scrambler Series as he looks underneath the 0-1 of Richard Murdoch. Not quite able to get things done. You know every time you see the 88 of Sean Butler unload at the racetrack, you know he's going to have a fast piece of equipment as you see somebody darting into the screen there. 42 of Max Theriault also having one of those fast trucks here tonight. He has picked up 7 positions since the drop of the green flag. That 42 is coming as he is just outside the top 5 now. He's all over Dalton Williamson. Of course, these two drivers battled together on Thursday night. They had one heck of a shootout for a little while in the early stages of the SK Modified Series. See everybody as they're trying to work around Zach Mitchell here on lap number 18. Murdoch lifts a little bit. That's going to force the 88 of Sean Butler to also lift out of the throttle. See him side by side. Did maybe the 24 of Zach Mitchell burn up his equipment? Look at Butler. You can hear he is completely out of the throttle. He was pretty much coasting around turns 1 and 2. Murdoch is able to complete the pass. He'll pick up P number 2 once again here. Maybe he can run down James Skelton, who is a 2.5 seconds out ahead of all these drivers. Come by this time, complete lap number 19. Look at Max Theriault taking the peak to the outside of Sean Butler. 2 of the longest running driver combinations here in red light racing. Max Theriault and Sean Butler are 1 and 2 on the overall wins list with red light racing. Battling inside the top 5 here. Sean Butler actually going to move himself back to, it looks like, the 6th position. Now back into 5th as him and Dalton Williamson run side by side. Oh, Butler a little bit up off the bottom side of the speedway as it looked like Dalton Williamson down right on the door panel of truck 88. And these are just the battles inside the top 5. There's battles all over the raceway. Battle back there for 14th. Rex Hoyle is side by side with Eric Johnson and Tony Strano. They're battling too. You also got Michael Trevarthen, who continues to lose ground. There you see that Ford EcoBoost, the Rev Esports driver, all the way back now to the 25th running position here on lap number 22. Almost a quarter of the way into this one here tonight at Nashville, and it has proven to be a very good race. There's the race leader. He is hot and heavy on the throttle as they work down the back straightaway. There you see your race leader coming by the camera, 2nd and 3rd. Max Theriault going to go to the outside of Richard Murdoch. He'll take that spot. So now Max has picked up 11 spots to be running in P number 2. Really butchered his qualifying lap, but now has picked up 2nd. We'll see if he can run down the race leader. It's almost a 2-second deficit from 1st back to 2nd. Skelton, Theriault, Murdoch. Right now, your top 3 drivers, Dalton Williams and Chris Hammett. Sean Single also. And his Christmas Snoopy entry. And how about the run so far here in the opening stages of this one? Tim Williams showing a lot of speed here tonight. Tim Williams running into that 7th spot with the Rev Esports number 45. Zach Mitchell really starting to fade now in that Kingsford Ford. He is back to running in the 8th position. He was up as high as running in 2nd, as now he's well behind the 8 ball. A couple drivers coming to pit road here. It looks like here comes the driver of the number 5. He's coming to pit road. 38 of Brandon Feeney also coming to pit road along with Brian Bianchi. So the pit cycles have started here tonight. We'll see if anybody else comes to pit road. There you see your race leader. Looks like he will stay out, so he will not come to pit road, but a bunch of drivers behind him do. Looks like Max Theriault bringing a whole bunch from Richard Murdoch, Chris Hammett, Sean Single, Dalton Williamson, Zach Mitchell, all coming to pit road. As I'm getting reports that there it is, the number 13 of Joshua Buckley has some damage on that super flow. Granny Hips Walkers and Canes, number 13. Some little right rear damage actually on that car. Some right front also. He'll come to pit road this time by. So as he comes to pit road, a lot of drivers will be coming out. New race leader, though, take a look at this. It is going to be the driver out of Canada. The 45 for all the race fans that are watching the screen. That's actually the 45 of Tim Williams, 907 if you're following along on our ticker pylon over there. So the 45 of Tim Williams leading last time by. He'll actually come to pit road. Sean Butler going to stay out and see if he will lead a lap over Jason Wells. Rex Hoyle is right there also. The Colonial Tire and Service Center, number 954. Running right there, P number 3 during this green flag pit cycle. Michael Trevarthen still out here circling the speedway. He is very slow, actually, as those trucks go by him. Those trucks on brand new 4 fresh tires. Of course, Trevarthen down on power due to that crinkled up fender. See if he brings it to pit road or if he's out there. He's out there on the long run strategy, and he's got some very bent up parts underneath that number 2. You saw him get very tight that time out of turn number 4. Almost actually put it into the outside wall. Kevin O'Brien back down on pit road for his first stop, actually. Is the race leader of Sean Butler going to come this time? Him and Wells still out here on track together playing the long run strategy. They will be off sequence of the race leader. So it is Butler, it is Wells who have yet to come to pit road because Rex Hoyle, there he is. He's coming to pit road. The Colonial Tire, number 954, he's coming to pit road. It looks like Ethan Troutman also coming to pit road. So 3 drivers actually have yet to cycle through down to pit road. And it's the race leader of Butler, Wells, and Trevarthen. This is the driver that should cycle back out as the race leader. It's the 42 of Max Terrell. He is out front of the 86 of James Skelton. Butler trying to hold the bottom side of the speedway as all the drivers go around the outside. Wells will come to pit road. The Alien Wares, number 64, coming down here on lap number 31. So will that bring in? Yeah, it will. Michael Trevarthen will also come to pit road. So when will Butler come to pit road? He's not running for points here tonight. Caution flag is out. That's exactly what Butler was playing the long run on. Sean Butler going to be saved here by the caution flag, but now he is going to have to save fuel because they were running close to having to come to pit road. Trevarthen also down on pit road, and Wells also down on pit road. We'll see if they get out of pit road in time. Wells will not beat Butler to the end of pit road. He will get trapped 1 lap down. So Sean Butler, Max Terrell, and James Skelton are the only 3 drivers that are left on the lead lap here when the caution flag came out during the green flag pit cycle. Travis Minto and Brandon Feeney, I believe, may be involved in this one. We will have to take the look back here in a second. Truck says they have it. Here we go. The Liquid Molly K1 graphics entry to the outside of that ping, number 19. Oh, Travis Minto coming up the track, and I believe Ryan O'Donnell was in the wrong place at the wrong time. We'll have to wait and go back. See if we can ride on board with Ryan O'Donnell. Riding on board with Ryan O'Donnell. Oh boy, hard hit right through the door of Brandon Feeney. Watch it again here, and yeah, just 2 drivers going for the same real estate, which will bring out the first caution flag of the evening. And well, it doesn't look good for the ping number 19, and of course Brandon Feeney in the Liquid Molly K1 graphics entry. Well, it looks like his night may be done also here. So Sean Butler did come to pit road finally, as he'll come back out with 4 fresh tires as does not look like Max Terrill did come to pit road at all, so he'll cycle through as the race leader. Remember, there was just James Skelton, Max Terrill, and Sean Butler on the lead lap, and then Chris Hammett, well, he's the recipient of the Lucky Dog Award, so he will be back on the lead lap. A couple of the drivers, you see them all on the timing and scoring. 27 drivers are being shown on the race lead lap. Well, that's because, well, there you see Bob Higgins. He is being scored 27th. You see the driver right behind him. That's the 42 of Max Terrill. Well, Max is going to come to pit road, so it'll be Sean Butler who takes actually back over the race lead. So with Sean taking back the race lead, he is behind Bob and the rest of the drivers that are running currently 5th through 26th. Those drivers will all get waved around the iRacing.com pace truck. They are going to be lucky enough to go all the way around the racetrack, and they will line up single file behind the race leader. It is going to be a big train. It's going to look funny on the restart, yes, but all these drivers will get the chance to go back around and then be on the lead lap. Chris Hammett came down to pit road. There you see him sitting in his pit stall. You see that Miracle Row, Scotts.com Ford. He's just filling up with fuel, it looks like. We'll have to see when this goes back green flag racing, and everybody will cycle back through. That is a for sure thing. There you see Richard Murdoch. He's running 5th. He'll cycle back through. Scoring going to look just a little bit funny here for just a couple of seconds until we get that 1 to go marker. That's when they're all going to go. Remember, we talked about big implications, though, for the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. This caution flag was exactly what he needed. Unfortunately, it's going to come at a bad time because, well, he's trapped a lap down. So to stay on the sequence with the race leaders, he can't come back to pit road and get the damage fixed. He has to stay out there and hope that another caution flag will come out here when they go back green flag racing. They really could have used this yellow flag opportunity to come to pit road and fix the damage, but they got to get their lap back here and stay with the race leaders. So there you see Trevarthen did just go back around the iRacing.com pace car. So they're tagged the back of the field here, and we're going racing next time by. There you see Bruce Potter in the number 59. He came to pit road. He's down a lap right now. Same with Dalton Williamson. He will be shown a lap down. So it will be Butler, Skelton, Terrill, Chris Hammett. The lights on the iRacing.com pace car are going to come back on here. That's a lot of cars working around the surface. So our officials here tonight say, let's go at least one more time around here. We'll let everybody catch back up because you can see it is a big track and the field just finally catching up to the race leaders as they come down out of turn number 4. So these guys all going to now work themselves back into line, and they're still trying to find some spots for the officials. Old Barney the flagman will give them the 1 to go signal this time by after we're working our first caution flag of the evening. Travis Minto, Brandon Feeney, and Ryan O'Donoghue did all get involved in that one. So they will have to, well, a couple of them down on pit road, still trying to get some service fixed to their trucks. Does look like Dalton Williamson will go to the tail end of the longest line here. He is 1 lap down to your race leader. So, we told you it was going to look funny. Look at them as they all come by. They're all in a single file line. That is because everybody got a wave around, and they have to, per the rule book, all go single file. Well, of course, once we take the green flag here this time by, they can jump out of line and boot, scoot, and boogie any way they would like. So the old iRacing.com pace car down off the racing surface once again. This time by, we're going to drop the hammer. You only see 2 cars lined up side by side. It's the 88 of Sean Butler and the 86 of James Skelton, as it looks like we're not going to get the green flag here, as everybody's still under pace speed. So iRacing.com pace car should be coming back out here and going around at least another time around the speedway. There comes that old iRacing.com pace car. Of course, iRacing did update their pace car, but not this previous update. It was actually one update prior to that, and they came up with a custom pace car, and I don't quite know about that. It's not my favorite, but we're using it here tonight at Nashville. There you see that pace car. I don't quite know what it is. Race fans, if you know what it is out there, let us know. I have not been able to figure out what that lovely thing is. The lights are off on it, though, so that does mean possibly looking like everybody is finally in their correct positions lined up as we've been pacing here for a little bit. We'll remind you that it is Sean Butler, James Skelton, Max Terrell, Richard Murdoch, and Jason Wells, your top 5 drivers here. 2 drivers down on pit road here. That is Travis Minto and Brandon Feeney. Couple drivers that are a lap down right now. It is going to be Dalton Williamson, Bob Higgins, and Bruce Potter. Everybody else on the lead lap. As it's time to go up through the gearbox. Max Terrell right to the back bumper there on Sean Butler, giving him the attaboy. Let's go into turn number 1. Butler going to swing it high a little bit off turn number 2 as he works down the big back straightaway here tonight. Max will pull to the inside of the Carolina Elite Real Estate, number 86, and that is going to make the 86, James Skelton, jump right back down to the bottom side of the speedway. 1 lap back into the books here tonight at the Nashville Superspeedway. As the old jolly Charlie Brown Christmas tree entry, the number 11 here tonight of Sean Single. Back there stuck to the outside because the Dirty Mo radio, number 33 of Eric Johnson's down to the bottom side of the speedway. .39 laps going to be completed this time. Just 11 laps actually away from the halfway marker home here tonight at the Nashville Superspeedway. It is Sean Butler in his return to the Red Light Scrambler Series. He is out front, but somebody we have not talked about all night long. It's the number 4, the driver out of Somerset. The Esports Racing Group, number 4, Jeffrey Souza, having his best season ever with Red Light Racing. Well, he has locked himself into the championship round of 8, and he is hoping that he can get a little bit more here tonight. As you see, that number 4 inside the top 10. He's running in the 9th spot here tonight, having himself a run that he needs to open up this round, because next week when we go to the Tricky Triangle right up the road here from the Turn 3 Racing Studios, anything can happen when you go to the Tricky Triangle. Souza in that number 4, back to running in the 9th position. How about Brandon Minto, the Keystone Light, Buffalo Wild Wings, number 5. He's back here running into the 10th position. Picked up 11 spots so far here tonight is the driver out of Norman, Oklahoma. Tim Williams still having a solid run. You saw him up inside the top 5. He's got some damage to the Rev Esports rear end of that number 45 as he works down the back straightaway. He'll take a peek to the inside here of the number 5 of Brandon Minto. That'll be the battle for the 10th spot. Will he be able to have it? He had it at the line. Can he complete the pass? And it looks like Minto's going to let him complete the pass. But in the meantime, here comes that DC shoe, number 17. It's the golfer. Save 4, because here comes Tim Combs, the driver out of Holland, Ohio. One driver has towed it to pit road. I don't know what happened down to Dalton Williamson. He did get it into the access road, and they hooked him up to the tow truck. So the 61, the driver out of Tampa, Florida, is on the hook here tonight, and he is being scored way back into the 26th position. It's his sophomore season, and, well, the sophomore slump is a real thing if you're driver of that 61 of Dalton Williamson. He'll be back behind the wheel of his SK Modified, though, on Thursday night, as he is the championship leader. on Thursday night in the SK Modified Division. But this battle right here is still raging on. Here comes the Road Rage Accessories number 43 of Joe Strano. Who is the number 2? Well, that's the wild man of Michael Trevarthen. Trevarthen's on these new tires is able to play Superman, and he's got to get that number 2 as far out to the front as he can here while the tires are still good, because once the tires go away, that truck is going to start to bulldoze and plow, and then it is not going to be exactly the fastest truck on the speedway. Out front, though, we did miss at the 42 of Max Terrell is now the race leader over Sean Butler, James Skelton, Jason Wells, and old Richard Murdoch is also hanging right there on the back end of that Alienware number 64. Johnson is running into the 6th position. Zach Mitchell back there in 7th. Sean Single is 8th. Souza is running 9th. And Tim Williams still holding on to that top 10. He is running in the 10th position. But the best battle on the speedway is that number 2 of Michael Trevarthen to the inside right now. There's Ethan Troutman working the outside. That Ream number 62 Chevrolet, the driver out of Tennessee. As you see the 2 getting a little tight that time down there in the middle of 3 and 4. Came up the track just a little bit. That's going to allow the 62 of Troutman to carry the momentum off the top side, and he's going to be able to pull even as they go down into turn numbers 1 and 2. Josh Buckley back there in the Superflow number 13. He got a little tight, it looked like, in the center of the corner. He slid up. Now he's going to be under attack by Ryan O'Donnell and Tony Strano. Chris Hammett is right there. Remember, Chris Hammett was the lucky dog, and unfortunate because everybody got that wave around. Hammett was the lucky dog that puts you all the way to the tail end of the longest line, as everybody else got to go right around him. Sometimes being the lucky dog ain't so lucky, and it doesn't happen very often that way here with the rules. Unfortunately, that one's going to play out here tonight via the iRacing officials. He'll get around the number 3, though, with Tony Strano. Strano running back into the 20th spot now. That Scott's Miracle Grow number 6, though, is not done. Trying to go into Ryan O'Donnell, and Ryan has that Turbo Dork Radical Paints entry here tonight looking super fly, as he's got the color multi-pass orange on the Turbo Dork Radical Paints entry. And I mean, I tell you, race fans, we may be a little biased on the color of that truck, and that's just a good looking color. Orange. Check out Turbo Dork Radical Paints and maybe pick yourself up one of those multi-pass orange colors for any of your acrylic needs. Pit stops happening, though. Here comes the 01. Richard Murdoch will come to pit road here on lap number 50. So as we approach the halfway point, he's going to bring a couple of drivers right along with him. Right behind him, the 4 of Souza Minto also to pit road. Your front 3 drivers have checked out to a second gap over your 4th place runner of Jason Wells. You see them all just running nose to tail right now. Nobody really forcing the envelope, and Wells just kind of sitting in no man's land, especially with this track here tonight playing like a little bit of a super speedway, especially with these big trucks. See Joe Strano right there just in the wake of truck number 17. Tim Combs. When I look at these drivers here tonight and I go to look at who has picked up the most spots, it's the race leader. You see him down into turn number 1. He's actually opening up a half a second gap now. Max Terrell has picked up the most spots since the drop of the green flag, and that would be 12 spots. The next driver that is into the double-digit picked up spots, that's going to be the 33 of Eric Johnson. He's picked up 11 spots coming into the night. Nobody else is in the double digits of most spots gained, and we're going to put him on the list for the time being, but he's not going to be there very long. The driver who has lost the most spots, that's the 01 of Richard Murdoch, and oh boy, an unscheduled pit stop for the adventure in Pixel 01. Richard Murdoch, I believe, too fast exiting pit road. He had to come back down. It's going to be quite a lengthy penalty here for the driver out of South Carolina. The birthday boy is now going to have an uphill climb as he'll go another lap down to the race leader of Max Terrell. So, boy, Richard Murdoch cannot catch a break. He'll go 3 laps down now to the race leader. 42 continues to be strong here tonight. Max has a little actual nose damage on that MK Medic machine. There you see the hood. The nose is a little beaten and banged up. See if he can hang on to the blistering pace he has set. Joe Strano picking up a couple more. There goes Sean Single to pit road. So the number 11, old Charlie Brown, and Snoopy going to bring that beautiful Christmas tree to pit road. Looks like he did get it loaded up. Michael Trevorth and Tim Combs also will come to pit road. Taking a peek at it, we saw Max Harriel down on lap number 33, so I don't expect to see the driver of the 42 down pit road just yet. I believe he's going to stay out there as long as he can. Here comes some drivers. Here comes the Kingsford Ford to pit road. Joe Strano, Zach Mitchell, Ryan O'Donnell actually coming to pit road in the Turbo Dork Radical Paint Century. He'll bring her to pit road. 4 tires and fuel as the crew will jump over the wall. The Michigan driver looking to have a great night here tonight in Nashville. Those drivers will all go a lap down, though, as the 42 comes screaming by. Eric Johnson now pulling the Dirty Mo Radio number 33 off the speedway. Just taking a peek at the scoring as it jumps around here. 8 drivers have yet to come to pit road. Max Terrell says not yet. James Skelton says, we're giving a couple more go-arounds here tonight. Jason Wells is actually one of the fastest trucks on the speedway. Let's check it this time by at the line. Who is the fastest out of them all? Well, the 42, Max Terrell, about 0.2 of a second faster than the next fastest guy on old tires anyway. And that is Jason Wells. So Wells is the second fastest truck on the speedway out of the drivers with the old tires. Kevin O'Brien to pit road. He'll bring the green machine out of pit road, but he'll get back up to speed. So everybody on a little bit different strategy. A couple of these drivers able to stretch it just a little bit farther, because remember, they were able to come down to pit road under that caution flag we had a little while ago. And all those drivers that were a lap down under the caution flag that took the wave around, well, they all had to pit, and most of them are now being shown and scored at least 1 lap down. Playoff drivers that are below the line here tonight, of course, the number 2 of Trevarthen. There you see him in that Ford EcoBoost number 2. He's back to running in the 16th position, 1 lap down currently. As the timing and scoring continues to jump around here with drivers shuffling back through the field. Eric Johnson, one of those other playoff drivers, he's being scored a lap down. He is running currently in the 12th position. Then you got to jump up into the top 10 where you find the number 4 of Jeffrey Souza. He's doing what he needs to do here tonight. He's trying to pick off another one here. That's the 62 of Ethan Troutman. James Skelton gonna jet down pit road here really quick. See if he can put 4 fresh tires on and gain some track time here on the number 42 of Max Terrell. Coming to pit road first is not always a bad thing if you're one of the race leaders. It can maybe net you a couple seconds on the speedway. Looks like Max is out of the throttle. He'll come to pit road this time by. He's coming in hot and heavy. He'll get her woed up, though. Slides the rear tires. Doesn't need those tires anymore, so go ahead and lock them up, young man. Use every little inch of tread on there. Rex Hoyle will now come to pit road as James Skelton is back out onto the speedway. He'll go 1 lap down for the time being. He's running in the 6th spot. Leaves 5 trucks left on the lead lap here tonight, but a handful of them are down on pit road. Remember, Sean Butler is not afraid to push the fuel mileage game. He's not afraid to run it a little bit longer, a little bit farther than any of these other drivers. Just out ahead of him, you see the 01 of Richard Murdoch. Multiple laps down right now for Richard Murdoch. He's running back into the 25th position. 2 laps off the race pace being set by Sean Butler. A solid truck for Murdoch, and boy, that truck was fast in the early going with that pit road penalty. really going to hurt the Adventure in Pixels crew. Because unless we get a handful of yellows here and everybody takes waiver rounds, Murdoch is going to have a very disappointing finish on his birthday. But Murdoch, happy birthday anyway from all of us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We hope you had a great day today, and we hope you have a great night tonight after the race. I heard James Skelton might be taking him to Taco Bell after the race. Sean Butler, race fans, he came by our camera there by the sound recording, and that driver is actually out of the gas trying to save. Let's ride on board with Sean Butler. And there you hear it. The truck shut off. He is coasting around the corner. 125 miles an hour around the corner. You saw Max Terra unlap himself there on Sean Butler. So an interesting play. It's not the first time we've seen the 88 of Sean Butler clutch it, shut it off, just coast the truck. We've seen him use that strategy in multiple different events. He's doing it here tonight. James Skelton going to unlap himself. I believe Sean Butler might have to turn about 4 to 5 more laps before he would be in that comfort window to be able to make this race on one more stop. That's what he is trying here tonight. He's trying to make this on only one more stop. He's only been to pit road once. Those caution laps really helped him in the early stages save some fuel. That's exactly what he's doing here, continuing to save fuel. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to stretch it any farther. Hopefully this will be far enough here tonight for Sean Butler to have saved enough fuel in the tank of that Hooters number 88. It will turn everything back over to Max Terrell as the race lead. And boy, does he have a big one. There's first, there's second. Down the back straightaway, it'll be about almost a 2-second deficit between Max Terrell, which will be your race leader, all the way back to James Skelton. So Skelton should have second. Eric Johnson should be looking to roll third, except here comes that Alienware, number 64. Always, when it's the end of the race and it's time to cash the check, he starts to come to the front. It's the Alien of Wells, who has picked up a couple wins this season and is looking to have himself a solid points night. Will find himself, as he just got around the Dirty Mo Radio 33, he will find himself now running in P number 3. Zach Mitchell will round out the top 5 as Joe Shrano is running in the 6th position. Looks like Sean Single is holding on to the 7th spot, but man, there's the battle for the 8th spot right now, as that has Jeffrey Souza for the time being. Brandon Minto is right there also and rounding out the top 10. And we've talked about it numerous times. The man from Canada. There you see Tim Williams. He is having the best run of his Red Light Scrambler Series career right now. I know we still have another green flag pit cycle, or at least one more pit stop to make here tonight before this race would be official. But so far, the driver out of Canada has had himself one heck of a night. I wonder if he was eating some Canadian bacon here before we came to the track tonight, as that truck is absolutely fast. The old timer and the Makoni Setup Shop Rev Esports number 45 will now pick up P number 9, as he just drove around Brandon Minto like he was sitting still. We wonder how many beers Brandon Minto is on here tonight. Well, we can't tell you that right now, but what we can tell you is the 41 of Bob Higgins using the access road here tonight. He is going to come down to pit road, the checkered flag auto supply. Number 41 of Bob Higgins coming to pit road on lap number 71. Maybe this is his fuel run here and he can stretch it the rest of the way. There you see old Murdoch back there, just in front of James Skelton. Murdoch going to roll to the high side here, and Skelton's going to be able to skedaddle down around the bottom side of the speedway. Now to battle for a spot. Remember, Murdoch is back there running 24th. He has 2 laps down. We did have one retiree on lap number 63. Bruce Potter has pulled his number 59 back behind the wall here tonight. He is officially out of the race here at Nashville. So as it was an early exit for Bruce Potter, it's, well, not over for any of these other drivers. Everybody has really single-filed themselves out. Sean Butler is back out onto the speedway, back out running into the 13th position. He is sitting behind the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. Trevarthen's still trying to claw and, scratch his way back into this race somehow, some way. Remember, he made contact on lap number 5 with the 86 of James Skelton, making, that number 2 truck have a lot of damage to the quarter panels, and that truck just has not carried the same speed since. You see him up to the outside there. Sean Butler and Rex Hoyle both going to go ahead and make their way around the bottom side of the speedway. Look at Ryan O'Donnell, though. At one point, he was all the way back, buried into the 25th position, and pretty much wrapped up in that first caution flag of the evening. He has worked. The Turbo Dork Radical Paints number 98, though, back into the 11th position. He's closing in on Brandon Minto, but Sean Butler is closing in on both of them. Butler going to look to the inside. Ryan O'Donnell going to say, "You're a lot faster than me right now, Mr. Butler. Go ahead, you have the inside." Also, looks like Brandon Minto is just going to go to the high side of the speedway. He'll live to eat another one of those Buffalo Wild Wings, as the Hooters machine just says, "My wings are a little bit better," as he went around him. So Sean Butler back into the top 10. Remember, he may not have to pit anymore here tonight. I don't have an exact fuel run here, as Ryan O'Donnell says, "I can make it from this point on. I'm coming to pit road." So Ryan O'Donnell now on pit road. Race leader Max Terra will come by. He will put a lap down to the Ryan O'Donnell machine. That'll leave 21 drivers on the lead lap, because Brian B. Yankee and Cole Pepper's Bakery and Cafe number 914 just went one lap down to the race leader. There's damage on the right front fender of that Ford F-150. Well, we got to say thanks to all the race fans that are tuning in here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network to watch the racing action for the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series for Red Light Racing. You see Brandon Feeney, unfortunately a rough one out there. Probably Timmons tuning in here tonight. The Murdoch fan crew also out there. And, of course, Mr. Robert Dudley tuning in here tonight over on the Turn 3 Racing Facebook page. We thank all the race fans for your continued support here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. We hope to see you join us throughout the week for all of our other programs that we bring you. Everything live from SK Modifieds with Red Light Racing all the way to the high banks of Daytona, and we sling some dirt in between. 23 laps to go here, though, as there you see Skelton will come to pit road, and he will now make his final stop of the evening. The strategies are starting to be played. We knew a couple of these guys were going to have to pit at least one more time here tonight. Then we knew some drivers, they were going to gamble it and try and make it the rest of the way on fuel here tonight. We'll see if they saved enough or if they will even come close. 22 laps to go. Max Terrell says, "No, not yet, Mr. Skelton. Not time to come to pit road just yet." So Skelton going to get trapped a lap down. Jason Wells brings down that Silverado to pit road. He'll make his final truck down this very long pit road at 55 miles an hour. He'll signal his box and he'll slide in there, and very nice calm entry into his pit stall. "21 more circuits around," and the update for Sean Butler. There he is. He's back to running sixth as he's closed in on the number 6. Oh! Contact there as Hammett was coming to pit road. Butler ran right into the back of the number 6 of Chris Hammett. Miscommunication between the spotters up on top, but a great check up there for Rex Hoyle. Hoyle was right there, and he could have been right involved in Chris Hammett in the number 6. Got real big damage on the back end. That's a lot of trouble of that Scott's Miracle Grow entry. Watch Chris Hammett. There you see, they already got the sideways bump, and then Chris Hammett was offline trying to come to pit road and through the grass, and oh, he's going to tag the inside wall. A rough one for Chris Hammett. See him coming back out onto the racetrack. You can see the right rear of that number 6 is just absolutely plowed in. Everybody, though, cycling back through into the pits. We'll have to see as, oh boy, look at the hornet's nest that Max Terrell finds himself in. He's going to slide up the speedway. There goes Josh Buckley down to the inside. Here comes the 62 of Troutman, also trying to take that Ream Chevrolet down to the bottom side of the speedway. Not going to quite be able to do it. 19 laps to go, and Max Terrell has yet to come to pit road. The last time he came down pit road was on lap number 61. And he has yet to make his final stop here of the evening. Maybe trying to take these tires as far as they will to the promised land for him here tonight. And then he'll bring truck number 42 to pit road. There you see the 5 of Brandon Minto coming back out onto the speedway. Now, Max Terrell says now is the time. We're coming to pit road right here. Just a little slide of the rear tires. 18 laps to go, so that should give Sean Butler back the race lead. Sean was able to go 7 laps longer than Max Terrell. There's 17 to go this time by at the line, so we'll see if Sean Butler has enough in the tank of truck 88. As you see, everybody starting to work around the outside now on Sean Butler. Sean Butler has, just about a 2 truck length gap over Rex Hoyle. Rex Hoyle, though, has yet to come back down pit road. He was scheduled to stop here in the next 2 or 3 laps in truck number 954. Rex Hoyle has been running sim racing. Oh boy, as Souza right up onto the back there. He was coming with a head of steam. He's got 4 fresh tires, and he's trying to use them up right there. He'll get to the inside of the wily veteran and try and set sail. And we call him the wily veteran because Rex Hoyle has been sim racing before. A lot of these drivers in tonight's field were actually born. I believe he has had all the way back to, I believe, race fans, and I don't know the name of it. I want to say maybe we'll just call it Daytona. When the arcade game Daytona came out is when Rex Hoyle started racing. But he's played them all. NASCAR 95, Andretti's Autosports Racing, and you name it, he has played it. He has turned laps on every single style of racing game, racing track, Gran Turismo, Forza, you call it, race fans. He has played it. He finds the iRacing.com platform, though, in the community here with iRacing, the best out of the sim communities, and that's why he spends them here with us riding around these tracks, as he is tonight in second, trying to stretch the fuel tank for as far as it'll go. There you see the 88 of Butler still out in front of him up the speedway. 14 to go. They're going to get 13 laps to go. They have a 16-second gap right now over the third place runner. There is James Skelton. He is running in the 3rd position. Rex Hoyle still will have to come to pit road. We know he needs one more pit stop tonight. Sean Butler, we're unsure if he has to come back to pit road. Skelton's good to go all the way, the rest of the way on fuel. Max Terrell's good to go. Ethan Troutman, who's running in the 5th position, he is good to go on fuel tonight. Did notice that the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen has started to slip again here on the longer runs. On the long runs, car number 2 just cannot keep up the pace with the damage on that quarter panel. Rex Hoyle has decided to bring car number 954 to pit road, so he will take a splash of gas and get back out there. With 12 laps to go, he'll make his final stop. Here comes Butler. Butler will see this time by 11 laps to go. Double ones up in the air. 11 to go here tonight at Nashville. There's Rex Hoyle, so he'll go a lap down to the race leader. It's Butler, it's Skelton, it's Trevarthen, it's Wells. Max Terrell is the fastest truck on the speedway. He was the last one of your race leaders to come to pit road, and he is now going to be hounding the back bumper of that driver out of South Carolina. How hard will James Skelton fight with truck 42? He won't even put up any kind of effort. He throws his hands up in the air and says, go to the inside, as the 42 of Max Terrell will now take over P number 2. 14 and a half seconds and 10 laps to do it. Taking a look at it, he is exactly 1 second faster than Sean Butler is out there tonight. Exactly 1 second faster with 10 laps to go. The deficit 14 seconds. He's going to have to reach down and really turn on the jets here and get some real blistering lap times here for Max Terrell to go out there and catch the 88 of Sean Butler, because we can tell you right on board, he's not even in the picture frame. Max is down into turn number 1. Sean is going down into turn number 30 seconds a lap here at Nashville Superspeedway. All your Chase Championship drivers, except for 2 right now, are inside the top 10. Terrell runs 2nd, Skelton is 3rd, Wells is 4th, Troutman is 5th, Johnson is 6th, Souza is 10th, Hammett is back there running into what looks like to be the 12th position, and then Michael Trevarthen back running in 16th here tonight. 8 to go, 7 to go for the double 8s this time by 12 seconds and counting. I think it's just going to be a little too late. As long as Butler can hold on to this truck here tonight, he may be in the catbird seat. We will find out. Brandon Minto has entered pit road in car number 5. He is actually being shown off the screen. He is out of tonight's race. There you see the Culpeppers 914 entry. Brian Bianchi taking back a lap from the race leader. We do have 13 drivers on the lead lap with 16 to go. Still a 10-second deficit between the race leader all the way back to Max Terrell. Nothing is going on at all here. Closest battle on the speedway is the 6th position here for Eric Johnson, Zach Mitchell, and Sean Single. Everybody else is stretched out here tonight, and no side-by-side battling here. These drivers said once the long run went going here tonight, it was going to be very hard to find a pass. High five from the flagman that time by for Sean Butler. So just 5 more times around, 5 more miles of racing. Now 4.5 miles of racing, as he is already halfway down the back straightaway here tonight at the Nashville Superspeedway. So this is as big championship implications on the line here if Butler can make 4 more miles on that tank of fuel. Sean Single falling back. It looks like he's been into the outside wall, but as we talk about that championship hopeful, remember, this is the round of 8. The drivers that are in red right now are the drivers that are battling to lock themselves into the championship 4. And this is going to take maybe a slot away. It'll be 3 to go this time by for Sean Butler. 3 laps to go at Nashville Superspeedway. If Butler wins, that means there's only 1 automatic bid left on the board when we go to Pocono. Who will be able to get it done? Does Butler even have enough fuel in the tank? It's the storyline of the year. He returns, but does he have enough, the wily veteran, to get it done here tonight? Old popsicle sticks about to go in the air for Sean Butler. Eric Johnson does not have enough fuel in truck 33. He'll have to come to pit road. A splash of gas coming for truck 33. Max Terrell over 5 seconds back. He's not going to get there unless Sean Butler really fumbles it. He's about a half call to back straightaway difference. as Sean Butler will come out of turn number 4. He keeps it out onto the speedway. It'll be 1 lap to go for Sean Butler, presented by the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. It's the final trip around the speedway for Sean Butler. He has been away for numerous weeks from competition here with the Red Light Racing Scrambler Series. Now he makes his return at the Nashville Superspeedway, and he is looking to win this one in fashion. Fuel mileage as he comes out of turn number 4 for the final time. The checkered flag is about to fly. Barney flips it over. The checkered flag is flying. Sean Butler will win here tonight at the Nashville Superspeedway. Crashing coming across the line. That's the 3 of Tony Strano. And I believe the 40 of Rob Higgins getting together as they came across the start-finish line. But it is Butler. It is Terriel. It is Skelton. It is Wells. Joe Strano. And Ethan Troutman. Troutman running out as he comes across the line. He's actually going to get past Zach Mitchell. Will beat him to the line. Mitchell will have 6th. Troutman will go 7th. Tim Williams will go 8th. Jeffrey Souza will go 9th. And Sean Single will round out the top 10. Those are, of course, your unofficial race results here tonight. As there is your winner. Does he have enough in the tank to burn him down here tonight? He does. Sean Butler will do your victory donuts here tonight. He will be in Victory Lane when we get ready for our Renaissance Nutrition post-race show coming up after the donuts presented by Sean Butler.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the Nashville Superspeedway in Tennessee. It plays host to the round of 8 for the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series for the Red Light Racing Group. And boy, what a race it was. For the first time ever, Red Light Racing got to bring the Scrambler Series right here to the Nashville Superspeedway, the 1-mile concrete surfaced track here, and it played a great one. But the storyline of the night is going to read: Sean Butler returns and outlasts all the drivers in the playoffs and made his presence known here tonight as he has taken away a chance for one of these drivers to automatically lock themselves into the next round of the playoffs. So they will go to Pocono and hope that they can do it. But let's head down trackside for our Renaissance Nutrition post-race show here and talk to the driver of the 88, Sean Butler. Congratulations as you come back here tonight, my friend, and you are able to park the Hooters 88 in Victory Lane. Tell us about the night. Brand new track, and your return, and the fuel mileage all up in the window.
Yeah, well, as everyone knows, I'm just out here racing for fun. Haven't been able to make it much races these last 3 seasons now, so I haven't been as good as I was hoping. But tonight I was just like, I'm just gonna try fuel mileage and see what happens. Channeling my inner DJ, and caution came out right at a good time. Let me catch a bunch of guys a lap down, or so they had to get wave rounds, and it's just kind of worked right into it. And I didn't think Max or James were going to save enough the way they were driving it, so I didn't think I could really keep up with them. I was close, but I was just not quite fast enough to keep up with them. So I just kept my fuel mileage, and it worked out.
It's going to definitely work out for you as you're going to clinch the first ever race here at Nashville. Brand new to the iRacing service. How many times have you practiced here at Nashville? Have you turned any laps at all?
The 15 minutes of practice I got in today before the race was all I've ever raced or drove around here. So there was a learning curve. It took me until the end of that to kind of figure out a decent line, and then watching what Max and James were doing helped me figure out the line. But I was in that fuel conservation mode, so I just wasn't keeping up with them.
It's not the first time we've seen you play that card here, and it does work once again. It's probably, I believe, the second or third time we've seen you work that fuel mileage to perfection. But tell us about that last run. The damage on the nose of this 88 came in contact with a driver that was trying to get to pit road for his final stop. You were good to go and nowhere to go in turn 4.
Yeah, I think someone was keyed up on the back right about time when he was saying it. I heard him say something. I just didn't hear what he said. And then I went down in right behind him, and I had no idea he was pitting. So just barely gave him a little tap. I'm glad he was able to save it, and didn't mess us both up. I don't think it really messed him up. I think he got on there pretty good. But just one of those race things. Unfortunately, too much chatter on radio. I didn't really hear it. But thankfully, it didn't damage the truck, and I was able to, go faster. Once I realized I had saved enough fuel, I kind of went a little faster for about 6-7 laps. Kind of keep that gap between me and Max decent, and then I saved again at the very end just to make sure.
Well, you do it here tonight at Nashville as they're playing your favorite song down there on the front straightaway. Congratulations again, Sean, who makes this all possible back home in Ohio.
Well, I gotta give a shout out to my buddy Richard Murdoch's his birthday today. I guess he's turning 37 or almost 40. He's getting there. Give a shout out to all the admins putting on this. Glad we raced here. Is actually a pretty fun track. And then thanks to you out there, always out here broadcasting. I look forward to watching them, and I'll catch everyone next week. Have a good one.
There you hear it from Sean Butler, the driver out of Ohio, will play the fuel strategy to perfection as he'll go downtown Nashville, just a little bit east here of the Speedway, and celebrate this one virtually, of course, race fans. Coming up in the runner-up spot here tonight, though, the 42 of Max Terrell. Max, it looks like he had a really strong truck, but a little damage on the nose, but it didn't seem to hamper the performance of this 42 Chevrolet at all.
No, even during the pits, they didn't bother fixing anything, so I went ahead as if nothing had happened. It happened in the first run before the first pit stop when we were all bunched up, and I think in turn 3 it slowed down, but we were all good from that point on, and only one caution, so another good race for the group of guys we have.
Yeah, with only one caution, how hard was it to really get a strategy? Because the caution that did come out here earlier on in this one, right around lap number 30, really was an extended caution. Did that hurt the strategy play tonight?
No, what hurt was the moment the caution happened, just after pretty much everyone, or except a few guys, made their pit stops, and I had to take a set of tires not to fall back, and was caught up behind in third or fourth place. So it was the wrong timing for that caution in my strategy. So the extended caution didn't change anything else after that.
Did you think on the last run here tonight that you had played the strategy wrong? You ran a little bit longer than all the other drivers here on both fuel runs under the green flag pit cycle. Did you think you had, pit at the right time, maybe fresher tires at the end of this one?
No, because I wasn't on the same sequence as Sean. I knew he was saving. I just wanted to offset James's pit lap, and I wanted to have fresher tires if there was a caution at the end or something happened between my pit and lap 20 with 20 to go. So it was what I planned before the last pit stop, but not enough.
Not enough to get it done here tonight, Max, but you will go in to the race at Pocono as the highest scored points headed into the final race before the championship 4. We'll get it out here eventually for you, so that's got to feel pretty good knowing that you're going to a track, though, that you actually look forward to most of the time.
Yeah, I enjoy Pocono. It depends with what car we go there. It feels different depending on the trucks or the cars, so we'll see with the testing sessions coming up. But I really enjoyed Nashville Superspeedway. It looks like any other cookie cutter tracks, but it's narrower and it's slower in the corner, so that was a difference. And yeah, I think that's one that I'm looking forward to coming back and one more spot to gain.
Well, Max, before we let you go here tonight, who made this all possible back home north of the border?
Yep, as usual, my girlfriend, my friend Max, Maximilian, and my dad. A shout out to Turn 3 Network for the top quality broadcast. Josh, James, and Richard for running this Scrambler series on Monday night. Good win to Sean and solid finish to James. And we'll see you guys next week.
There you hear it from Max Terra. Come in as one of the favorites here tonight to Nashville. He will finish on the podium. He will snatch the second position. Third is the driver that led most of the laps here tonight, but James, you're going to fall short here. Fuel strategy and pit sequence may have got you here tonight.
Yeah, I think I was probably the second best car. I've never raced here myself, so it was all new to me, and I thought I had the line down pretty good, but Max's line through 1 and 2 was just superior on the long run, and I was trying to adjust on it, and then I was missing it too high. I was getting really good tire wear compared to some other people, but at the end of the day, it's a good points day. I would really like to get a win, but just get to make it to the Final Four. That's the ultimate goal.
That's the ultimate goal, but it all had to start here tonight at Nashville. Walk us back through the early stages of this race as you and the number 2 of, I believe that was Michael Trevarthen, made a little contact down into the corner. Your truck looks good, but Trevarthen's truck looked a little beaten and banged.
Yeah, he actually just messaged me because I was while you're interviewing the other 2, I sent him a message, and my replay would only go back to lap 4. And I was asking, Richard and then Josh if anybody saw what happened, because I didn't have any damage. So when I pitted, and he just messaged me and said it was probably net code. So if I came into him, I definitely apologize because he had a hot rod. So hopefully I didn't mess him up. But I see where he finished. So I think I did.
Yeah, rough one here, but all in all tonight for your crew, it's going to look great. You'll be second slotted going into the final race of the round of 8. How do you feel as we head to the tricky triangle?
No, yeah, that's a great buffer. So, the ultimate goal is just to run top 3, top 5. Don't make any silly mistakes, on the track or on pit road, and just play it smart. Like I thought, 35, I probably could have made it with Sean. But it just wasn't worth it. I wanted to stay on the strategy as the other playoff guys, and it worked out.
Well, don't always chase the rabbit. Sometimes it doesn't work to go down that hole, but it will work here tonight for you as you finish in the 3rd spot. Who made this all possible with that Carolina Elite Real Estate number 86 tonight? Yeah,
most definitely give a shout out to you, Roger, for great broadcast. I think this one will be really fun to watch with all the different strategies, and I agree with Max. It was definitely a really, really fun track, and I think we'll definitely come back to it. Josh and Richard for all they do, and then all the drivers that came out. There's a lot of non-playoff guys. Sean came back, good one for him, and then everybody else. I think the league's in a really good place right now.
There you hear it from the driver of the 86, James Skelton, looking forward to going next week to the tricky triangle. He'll be slotted in 2nd in the playoff chase here. A lot of good run for a lot of these drivers, and maybe a not-so-happy Michael Trevarthen, because as we look at the race results here tonight, if we can get those pulled up, take a look here at those. See a couple drivers towards the top who aren't in the championship playoffs, Sean Butler, but then you see a slew of those championship drivers. How about, though, the 43 of Joe Strano? He's not in the championship hunt. He had a really good number 43 in the early stages of this one, and then started to fall back. Fell outside the top 10 for a little while, but made the charge at the end of this one. Zach Mitchell back in action here tonight. He'll finish 6th. Troutman finishes 7th. Williams, look at him having the best finish of his Scrambler Series career. The Rev Esports driver will finish in 8th. Souza will finish in 9th. Sean Single rallies back to finish 10th. Chris Hammett, look at Ryan O'Donnell there in 12th. Rex Hoyle was 13th. Dave Bragg into the 14th position. And look who's back there in 16th, though. Michael Trevarthen, the lowest scored playoff driver, has a lot of work to do headed into the next round of the playoffs. We'll have to see if he can clinch by maybe the point stay or gaining the most points, or, well, I think his chances of moving on is going to be by winning at Pocono. Some rough luck, though, for the number 19, though, Travis Minto. He was wrapped up in a wreck with Brandon Feeney in the early stages of this one. Dalton Williamson dropping internet connection for the 61, so unfortunately he had a rough night. And how about the birthday boy back there in 23rd, Richard Murdoch? We have to say happy birthday once again to Richard Murdoch. Race fans, he tells me he's 21. I just don't know if I believe him or not, but happy birthday regardless to the driver of that Adventure in Pixels 01 of Richard Murdoch. And well, we'll see if the foundation can bring a hot rod at Pocono. We know he has a really quick piece when he comes to Pocono, but we'll see if the birthday boy can go celebrate this week and then come back and party with the big boys. But for everybody at Red Light Racing, everybody over at RB Custom Rigs, my name's Roger Muth with the Turn 3 Racing Network. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast here from the Nashville Superspeedway. We'll catch you just next week on September the 20th when we do head to the Pocono Raceway. So for all of us, we hope you have a great evening, and we will see you at the races.